Just by saying that there's the large number hypothesis is that there's so much possibility that leads to probability. That's a logical fallacy. Just because there's a large number, there's a potential.
Right. If Earth didn't exist. But Earth does exist, and humans do exist, and Earth is rich with life forms. We know that it's possible.
That's true.
And we know that it's possible given the parameters that Earth enjoys.
That's why I say.
We know that there's an insane amount of planets out there that could replicate this environment.
Right. So wouldn't you then say, again, if you knew that life is so incredible, there's these extremophiles that live in volcanic vents 3,000 meters under the ocean. So again, you have to say, like, what are the odds that we would not see life on Mars or on Enceladus? And I'm not saying there is no
but it's
life.
just Mars. It's one example. And it could be that life requires a very narrow window that we enjoy.
Sure, that may be. But look at all the other factors that go into life existence on Earth. We talked about Jupiter before. There are scientists that believe that without Jupiter, we wouldn't be here because Jupiter is like a big vacuum cleaner.
Right.
There are scientists that believe that if the moon wasn't as close as it is, you know, that the moon is exactly the same angular diameter as the sun from the Earth. Do you know what that implies for you? And next April 8th, when I come and visit you again, there's a total eclipse of the sun.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to take you, if you're willing, I'm going to take you to show you the eclipse.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It'll change your life.
Where would we go?
We're going to go up to San Antonio.
Oh, nice.
We're going to drive. It's easy.
Okay.
Or we'll fly. We'll get
It's only a 90-minute drive. It's not even 90 minutes, right?
Have you ever experienced a total solar eclipse?
I didn't experience it because I remember, was it Donald Trump that was staring at the sun? Wasn't it? It was him?
Yeah, it was.
It was him. And I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. I think I did try to look at it. Yeah, now that I remember.
But it didn't come through here. So anyway.
No, it was in California.
If you were to see it, you would the experience that you had on Mauna Kea will seem like, you know, like you're just going down to the bar or something.
Really?
This has changed your life.
Okay, I'm in.
This will change your life.
Damn it, we told everybody we're going to San Antonio on April 8th. It's going to be a real problem.
Well, we'll find a secret place.
A lot of freaks.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaks are going to show up.
Okay. But the reason I bring that up is because it happens to have the exact. Have you ever seen the far side? There's no dark side of the moon. There's a far side of the moon. Right? It's riddled with craters. Guess what? Each one of those is a target. Is a Secret Service agent that took the bullet for us. Okay.
Right.
Any one of those could have exterminated.
Yes.
The fact that we did have a huge impact 65 million years ago that led to the advent of the mammals to replace the dinosaurs. The fact that we have internal terrestrial magnetism that then allows cosmic radiation to avoid impacting the Earth where the population is the largest of all species. The auroras are in the north. They're not in the equator. We don't see them here. The existence of plate tectonics, which is lubricated. The going theory about plate tectonics, I don't know if you've heard this, but that they're a lubricant. You ever heard of like dry graphite is a lubricant that like you put in guns or whatever? But that the continental shelf is moving over these things. They think that that's a precursor, a requisite for life. Okay, let's do the following very simple calculation. Imagine there's 8 things. You're God. You say, to have an iPhone, you're going to need 8 things. I think there's like trillions and trillions of things. But imagine there's 8 of them, okay? And imagine each one, that the Earth has a moon that's just the right distance to have tides to slosh biological material back and forth from the earlier. And that has plate tectonics, that's 2. It has a Jupiter nearby. It eventually gets hit by a Chicxulub meteor that kills off the big dinosaurs. It has a diurnal period that's compatible. It has a magnetic. Okay, let's just say there's 8 of them.
Right.
Let's say each one has a probability in your godlike cosmic roulette wheel of 1 in 1,000 for each one of those 8 things to occur. 1 over 1,000. Now, if you take that, and I think it's 0, it's like 1 over 10 trillion for some of these things, right? Now, take each one of those. So take 1 over 1,000, raise it to the 8th power. You get 10 to the 24th. Guess what that number is?
What?
It's the same as the number of stars in the whole universe throughout history. So in other words, one thing, only 8 different things that had to occur to make life in my simplified God computer that Joe Rogan is controlling. And the probability of those 8 things is only 1 part in 10 to the 24th. Then the problem is you're multiplying a large number by a number that's completely unknown. The probability that all these events could line up to make life. And you're saying anything times infinity is finite.
Right.
I don't
but
agree
can I
with
stop
that.
you? Is that? But we're not necessarily saying that. For first of all, is it conceivable that there would be solar systems that don't have the sort of asteroid and meteor activity that we do?
Of course, yeah. They
So
might.
wouldn't they maybe not get as pelted by asteroids and meteors and have more time to develop? Isn't that conceivable that there could be a different kind of life? If we find so much variety of life, like we talked about the volcanic vents, and isn't it possible that there could be other ways that life could form in different environments that may be hostile to biological life on Earth, but not to whatever evolves there? When we're talking about an infinite number of variables, when we're talking about so many different planets.
But why is it that the large number? See, again, that's the Carl Sagan. If there's no life in the universe, it's a big awful waste of space. But that implies
I don't think that's true. I think
that's what he said.
I believe that he said that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
that he didn't say that, but I don't think that way at all. I think we're so silly to think that this finite thing that we call biological life is the most significant thing and something that we know is at least 13 whatever billion years old. That's so insane that human life, which is just like this never-ending cycle of birth and death with this one particular organism, that thing is the most important thing that's going on in the fucking universe. That's so crazy. As much as I love people,
I know, but you
that
don't
is
have
such
any
a-
evidence for that, right? I mean,
What do you mean, evidence for what?
you can't say that we are not alone, right?
You can't say we're not alone.
and-
But, I mean, it's just the idea that that's the most important thing, that
Why aren't we?
biological life is the most
aren't we
important
the
thing.
most? I mean, I'm coming from a religious perspective, right? So I'm going to say that we believe that humans have infinite worth and that we're made in the image of God, right? That we have
Right.
godlike abilities. So how many other godlike things could there be in the universe? Maybe, and again, I don't want this said that Brian Keating, astrophysicist, believes that there's definitely no life. I believe that there could be life. In fact, I believe that there is life outside of the Earth, but I think it came from the Earth.
Interesting.
Through
Like
panspermia, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. You mean in the whole universe itself that it's come from the Earth? That
Well,
Earth is
even the most, and I think you had Adam Frank, professor at University of Rochester, on about 5 or 10 years ago. He does the following calculation. He basically proves that it's likely that we're not the only technological civilization in the universe over the universe's history. And I love Adam. I'm like, who gives it? You know what? You know what he's saying,
Who
Joe?
gives it? Everybody.
No.
don't they?
Listen, Joe. Listen to
Okay,
what he says.
I'm listening.
He said that that there was at least one civilization, with a probability greater than 0, out of the 10 to the 24th power, a trillion planets and stars in the universe, that there's been one civilization throughout 13.8 billion years. That doesn't mean in our solar system. It doesn't mean in our galaxy. It doesn't mean in Andromeda, the Small Magellanic Clouds. It doesn't even mean right now.